Alex?
Yeah.
Okay, hey, my name is Jason Cruz. I write for a site called MMA Payout. I'm out here in Seattle, Washington. First question I want to ask you is I have a nephew that goes to Northwestern right now. Do you have any suggestions as far as eating spots that he might be able to go to that he might not know? He's been there since September, but any insight from you, Northwestern you grad?
Ooh, yeah. It's been a while, and Evanston's a spot that the food scene is always kind of changing. I'm hoping that my favorite restaurant is still there. Todoroki. They have an all you can eat sushi special for about like $25-ish for all you can eat sushi is pretty crazy. You just
Wow.
gotta follow the rules about like you make sure you gotta finish your plate. So you can't order a whole boat and then have it come in because you end up getting charged extra. But that's probably my favorite. Oh, and then I would say I'll catch flack for this for any of your viewers or anyone that know. But if you're gonna do deep dish, go to Lou Malnati's. Don't do Giordano's.
Oh, okay. No
Uno's is
Giordano.
decent, but Lou Malnati's, that's the one.
Okay, we are
And
going to.
and don't go ahead and get the deep dish. Eh, if you're going to a deep dish place, get deep dish pizza. Don't go for the thin crust. You're not there for a diet.
Yeah.
Get the deep dish pizza.
Uh,
Outside of that, I'm trying to think if there's also if you're looking for dessert, I'm sure that it's probably still working. Andy's Custard downtown is hot spot. Lines out the door, but if you can get in, it's worth it.
okay. Okay. He's on a college budget, so I don't. He'll have to hit those maybe every month or so. But yeah, thank you for that information. Very important stuff. Um, so let's actually talk about what we're here for. Next week you're fighting. How was your training camp this year? I mean this time around.
Oh, it would be this year. This is my first fight of the year. We've had kind of a hiatus with Bellator, but we're back at it. Camp has been really good. It's been nice too. I get to share the card. Actually, I'm on the other card. He's on the main card with my teammate Mark Lemminger. So we're both kind of in at the same time. We knew what was happening. Not end of the month, but beginning of this next month. So yeah, camp has been good. Been training hard. Um, I don't know if there's anything other to note than that. I mean, fighters do what fighters do. We punch each other up, and we hope that we're better the next day.
Did it help to have Mark training with you and knowing that he's going through the same things you're going through for his upcoming fight as well?
Yeah, it's helpful having somebody there, and especially with the timelines, just because I know, especially when you have guys fighting all over the place, everyone's kind of at a different place in their camp, whether they're trying to ramp up or whether they're coming down. It's nice that we were kind of on the same timeline for that, and and then also it helps everybody else in the gym kind of remember, like, hey, now instead of just this one guy who's got his own schedule, now it's two of our guys, so that we can kind of attune to that and get in and help these guys work and get ready.
Excellent, excellent. So, unfortunately, you're coming off your first loss of your professional career, but prior to that, you had a good start with Bellator, with a win over a former champ. What's the mindset going into this third fight with Bellator? Is there anything that changed it from your first fight against Carvalho?
You know, um, as far as changing against Carvalho, I think that uh, and coming off the loss, of course, we take those L's to be lessons and lesson loss. But just making sure that we're sticking to the stuff that we're good at. I mean, everybody's comes with their own sort of skill sets and things that they want to get better at. And mixed martial arts is broad enough that there's lots of different skills to dip into and invest in. And I think for this fight coming up, I got to kind of dig back into the roots and make sure that we're doing what we're good at, and maybe not so much branching out and I don't want to say branch out completely, because of course you always want to be able to take those risks, big risk, big reward, but making sure that we're not overextending our skill set.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So, what do you know about your opponent right now, the Gustavo Trujillo? Have you been scouting him out a little bit, or are you just kind of focusing on yourself as you're getting back back into the cage?
More on the latter, and that again goes into kind of falling into my skill set. It gets to be, again, with mixed martial arts, there's just so many factors. There's so many things that we're trying to get better at and take care of, that it can kind of, when you start scouting out people and, I need to change this for this fighter, this for that fighter, you need to watch out for this. It just gets to be a little much. And I think that at least my philosophy is, if you tend to focus on yourself and what you're good at a little more and polish what you have up, it's a little more beneficial and a little easier to manage. And I mean, it's hopefully gonna reflect itself as big wins for me.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to go back to its bread and butter of wrestling in this next fight, or is it kind of one of those, we'll see what he does?
I mean, of course. I mean, we can all try to. It goes back to that old quote. I mean, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. So I mean, we'll go out there and we'll take it to them. I mean, the big advantage that I think I bring to the table, especially being the wrestler and a lot of times the shorter guy, is I need to push that pace. I need to kind of get in his face. I need to close that distance down, because if I stay out in striking range, I'm usually outreached and just kind of get outmaneuvered, because if we play that jab punching game, I can throw my longest jab, my longest kick, and it still won't reach him to get jabbed up in the face. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of trying to close that distance down, staying real close, and use that wrestling base to kind of force him to have to react to that.
Gotcha. And so now we're a week away from your fight on Showtime. What do you do within the week's time? Are you? I mean, I assume that most of the hard training is done. You're going to be trying to cut some weight, but what do you do to pass the time, I guess?
You'd be right. The training typically winds down. Nobody's trying to fill out the Rocky montage in the last week. It's more about cutting weight, and just kind of mentally preparing yourself and physically preparing yourself to build back up and be ready for that 15 minutes of frenzy. And then as far as keeping busy beyond that, just I'm going to be just relaxing and making sure that the body's healing up to take up the time and to hang out the Mohegan Sun. I probably won't be doing a bunch of gambling because that's against Bellator's rules. So I might bring a video game system that I can enjoy and just play in the hotel room and cool off while I'm not cutting weight, and keep my mind off big dinners.
Awesome. Well, do you got the PS5 or Xbox, or what do you got?
Oh man, both the PS5 and the Xbox. I still feel like I'm kind of waiting for them to develop a little bit more on the game side. I know they have 3 releases. I actually picked up a Switch when they were new, thinking that was kind of a goofy little thing, but I actually really enjoy it. I know it's gimmicky. All the Nintendo stuff is gimmicky, but I do enjoy the, you pull it out to walk to the kitchen, and you come back in, you hook it back into the TV. I mean, you can always catch me playing some Mario, some Super Smash Brothers on there, and there's some fun indie games too that you can check out.
Yeah. It's easy to travel with, so I could see why you don't want it. But hey, Alex, I greatly appreciate your time. Good luck next Friday. I hope it comes out well for you, and I will definitely pass along those restaurant tips to my nephew.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jason.
All right, man. Hey, Alex, have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Hey, Colin.